Sanbonan, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're coming from, wherever you're watching. We're continuing once again on the story subject because it has drawn. This is one of the biggest collapse or implosion of a business, So we're continuing on sort of getting from the horse's mouth actually what happened. Né? From what he's saying, as a matter of fact, from what the men say, not hearsay, from his own mouth. While Dre is telling us, no, this is where this thing's coming from, and now we're continuing this reaction and sort of analyzing and dissecting this thing, as we've been doing on other videos that I hope that you have watched. Please watch them, and then also subscribe on that channel. Would really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's go on.
I do have the money.
Hustlers are always like, can you do 1, 2, 3? Like, of course I can do it. And was guy, you can't. You're gonna figure out a way how to do it.
Yeah, I was like, I do have. They were like, okay, fine, it's cool then. But I didn't like how the first logo actually was, because it was just a round emoji. And then I sat down on my phone. I have an app that actually designs. So I designed this logo myself. I was just playing around.
You designed the logo yourself?
Yeah, I did,
So my partner at Mofai also loves designing. So he's got an app he always designs. This is so dope.
Sure. Yeah. So I actually designed. So the most beautiful thing is that since the factory has over 50 years experience in making shoes, they actually helped a lot into developing the shoe as well. They didn't just say, okay, but this was designed, just put, They were like, okay,
50 years of making a shoe factory. It's a South African factory. That's what he's saying. Yeah, he said they're manufactured here.
Yeah, it doesn't specify.
Yeah, it doesn't tell us which factory is this. Yeah.
I just want to go back to so the logo design and all that. Ari, he's registered a lot of companies. One thing I think people also need to catch on to is that registering a business is not running a business.
It's not.
Any Tom Dick can go onto CIPC website or go to the offices and register a company.
Yeah, that's very simple, especially these days.
Yeah, and get a tax number, get a bank account. 90%.
That's one of the reasons why we've got so many people, illegal foreign nationals. But that's not a topic in our country, having businesses and all of that. But that's via anyway. Yes.
So after registering your company, you get the tax number, you get a bank account. 90% of people don't go further than that. So if you're gonna say if you're gonna say you've run businesses, registering a business is not running a business.
Yeah, it's not running a business at all.
Yeah. And then the logo, designing logo, that's neither here nor there.
Yes.
It's not an achievement. It's not an accomplishment. Anyone can design a logo for you. So I think in raising this, interviewers, guys who are going to be giving these guys, they're not asking
pertinent questions. Yeah, they're not really, because I think from a Smooth's perspective, he already wants to see that. You can also do it there at home. You can do something. He's trying to. His approach of this interview, it is not to dig out what happened.
For the proper material so that people can actually use it to move forward.
Yeah. Okay, as a matter of fact, this was not after the implosion of the business or the shutdown of the business.
Yeah, this is while it was riding high.
Yeah, it was riding high. Yeah. But this we're talking about, what, 2 years before? No? 2 or 3 years before the implosion.
Well, the implosion happened this year.
This year, which is 2024.
And this video is 3 to 4 years old.
So we're talking 2020.
Yeah, he's blowing up. He's blown up, actually. Yeah. He's telling us a story. We all know who he is.
Yeah.
And now everybody wants to understand what's happening behind
the
story. But the biggest thing that you're taking from it is that he sat at home and designed.
In 2 years' time, because 2018 to 2020, he's blowing up like that.
So
you know what I'm saying? So
interviewers, guys with platforms, and when you bring these guys on, you need to ask the right questions.
Yeah, so it's not disrespect. We just want to know. You know what I mean? We really want to know what to skipper.
Just put your name there. You're not Nike. You have the whole name there, so people can actually relate with the name. And they can be comfortable.
Before the logo, just have the name.
Yes, they were like, okay, fine, it's cool. The first one wasn't even like this. The material was not even like this. The first one, the sole was actually a silicone sole. It cracks very, very fast.
Even trademarked.
So it was just a cheaper material. So because I didn't have money, so they were like, okay, fine. Since we have done designs for other people like you just come here without money, and not companies. We can give you 26 pairs of the prototypes, you know, but you will have
26
to
pairs,
have
okay.
600 as the minimum order quantity
Okay.
of one color.
600 of one color, yeah. That's where we're gonna start you.
I was like, okay,
that's
cool.
a
I'll just
factory.
figure out that later on. Let me just go back out there and hustle for money to actually manufacture. So that was around your Feb, March 2019, last year. And I was now fully into like I'm the brand. I was now like saying, you know what, this is what I'm doing, you know. And then I told my wife about my idea, and she was like, yeah, just do it, you know. I was like, okay, it's cool.
So once he managed to get hold of the factory and everything like that, and then they're going to start the production of the first batch here, the drip. That is only then he's going to tell his wife. Am I correct in thinking that?
Yeah, by the sounds of it, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
You know, and
I told her
according to the wife, apparently in that interview,
they were already selling sneakers together.
And also, she helped him to design the whole thing. Apparently, there's a part we didn't watch that part, but I heard as we're having conversation with a couple of friends.
She was involved in the design.
Yeah, from the early stages. That's why it's so painful for her. I mean, this whole thing and how the guy treated her.
With regards to that, it's he said, she said, because she's saying that she was there from day one.
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
And he's saying that drip was something that was conceptualized.
And then I've already done the groundwork. I just informed her.
Yes, and she said, just do it. Go for it. So,
okay. We do not know, but I'm just saying something to bring out in this, you know, in this video.
Listen, I had to sell her the idea, sell her the dream. You know, like, dude, we want to go corporate, we want to open stores, we'll be big, you know, we're going to merchandising as well, you know. She was like, it's cool, just do it. And it's like, okay, so when I registered the campus, like, it's already registered, you know, because she didn't I had
cool, just drip it.
Yeah, you know.
I'm saying your wife said, cool, just drip
cool,
it.
Just drip it. Just drip it. Yeah. Sure. So, then, like, the factory was like, okay, it's fine. What we can do for you is we will just manufacture the 600 pairs as well. You know, you can just go into contract, manufacture the 600 pairs, and then they gave me 26 pairs of the prototypes. So as like you come back when you have money, we can give you this. We don't do this for anyone. But we like to design. We think this can work in other different colors. You know, I had chosen pink because I wanted to attract women. You know, because I know Uchi like I'm the actual buy. So I took the 26 pairs. I sold, I think, about 5 of them. I created the website, the one that is currently using. I created an online store. I made Facebook pages, Twitter, and then I deleted my personal Facebook page. Deleted all the previous conversations. And I was going as an entrepreneur. I didn't want all the negative jokes that I used to post there to actually appear, you know, as I'm now going into a different gene in my life, you know. And then I was like, okay, for now, this is a much more positive person, a person who's now going to retail. I'm a new man right now going into this business, you know. And it actually worked. So the first tweet that I actually posted, I spoke about my story. I spoke about how I actually started into the sneaker business back in 2003, and people started retweeting, they started sharing, and it actually blew.
The first tweet back in 2003, how he started his sneaker business. So there was another sneaker business back in 2003. I'm not understanding this.
No, I agree. When he was in high school, he had. Again, he was sewing clothes for another guy. And then he dabbled in sneakers.
Yes. No. So that's the tweet. Yeah. So the first tweet of the business, drip,
talks about 2003.
Okay, all right.
Before the product was even here, drip was already trendy, and the first ones, they didn't even have the branding because they were just a prototype of the sneaker. Yeah. So I sold the name.
So the 600 pairs did not have the name.
They didn't have the name at all. So I took the logo and the shoe here and I actually said, this is drip. The what we are buying here is drip. It doesn't have a brand, but I'm telling you, this is drip. You know, so that is exactly what I actually sold. So people warmed up into that idea. They started, you know, I'm doing the pre-order that I was actually telling you about later on. They started I'm paying money, and that is how we actually raised the capital to actually take out the 600 pairs.
Okay, it is worth the Demoka Street.
So he raised money by selling that.
Yeah.
Those ones that don't have the logo and whatever. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like the contractors who will sell off plan.
Yeah.
And use that money to build further.
Yeah.
And keep selling more units.
Yeah. You know. So that is how
But
I.
that's no, that's a
That's how
lie.
you raise.
Yeah, that's how you raise money. What's as Bulena? He's talking like someone who's got no experience in business whatsoever.
No, the
He's
thing is
talking-
that probably because he wants to.
Yeah, I think this is for entertainment.
Yeah,
purposes, it's not
it
for
has nothing to
information.
do with getting down to the nitty gritties of what's going on here, or at least the interview has to be truthful.
So let's
Comparing property to this, come on, it's not totally two different things, man.
How rega off plan? You get financing approved before you even say you bought it off plan.
Yeah.
Financing gets approved, you get a bond on it, and then by off plan.
The examples don't. They're not. You see, the thing is this: that the example Tabona, the example of Zbooman is not make sure, man.
No, it's a gullible way of looking at it, naive. That's why you get it. The way of Wonka thing and the way he jumps on these things, it's almost as if someone who doesn't have experience. Let's just go back to it's like a property you buy off plan.
Yes.
Off plan means already you're not buying the property, it's already built.
Yes,
You're
that's
buying
true.
it, you're looking at a plan and you're saying this is what I want.
On paper,
and
architectural plan.
100%.
Yes.
And then the finishes and everything, they'll give you a package, 500,000. They just
Yes.
say, and then you go to the bank. You say, I've made an offer for that land that's going to build. That's going to be built. The package is 500,000. Then the bank does the entire transfer. You do the affordability. You afford. They determine that you can afford. You get approved for a bond, and then they dispense the money to the developer. No, the developer doesn't build the house for you, and then look at you paying for it thereafter. So learn that example. That's like the naivety.
Yeah, they're just two unrelated, or just the example is not relatable to what Zbu wants to compare it to as far as this guy's story is concerned. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yes, let's just unpack it further now. Let's just go back to 600 pairs. You've got a pair of drip now.
Yeah, it's
How much is it?
1,000.
It's 1,000 rand.
Yeah, that was 2019, 2020. 2019, I bought that pair.
Yeah, 2019.
1,000, yeah, I remember.
1,000 rand. So let's keep it at 2020 prices now.
2019 prices.
And let's work on the presumption that he's making 100% markup on the sneaker, meaning it's costing him 500 rand to make the sneaker.
Okay.
Now, for them to manufacture the sneaker. So the manufacturer says what? I don't know you, but I like you, and I'm going to manufacture your 600 pairs with no logo, with no branding, low quality.
Yes.
We're going to manufacture 600 pairs, right? At 500 rand.
We're assuming that's the, you know.
Let's put this into monetary context. 500 rand times 600 pairs.
300,000.
300,000 rand. So we are supposed to sit here and believe that a company outlaid 300,000 rands worth of material and production capabilities because they liked you. They liked your idea. Né? And then...
So he gave them 300 rands.
No, he didn't give them 300. He gave them nothing. They said they will manufacture 600 pairs, 300,000 rands worth of material.
No, I get it. What he's saying is that he that's how he raised the money, by selling off
the 20 pairs, 26 pairs.
No, 600 pairs. Didn't say that.
The 26 pairs. They gave him 20 pairs, and then the first pairs that he sold was 5 pairs.
Okay.
And then he sold the 26, and that's how he raised the money. What was Bulena? Oh, that's how you raised the money.
It's Bulena ma
That is-
yeah.
But Lena, for someone who's run businesses, unless, because another thing is we don't know DJ Zbu's businesses intricately like that. I mean, all you've got to go by is what the media says.
Yeah.
Mofire wasn't registered with SABS and whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Meaning with Leona in maybe in how he operates his businesses, there's a lot of shortcuts that get taken and taken to with no proper planning, with no proper insight into these businesses. You understand? Because for him, he should have picked this up. He should have. The first question I ask is how much is 600 pairs worth? If you're saying that a manufacturer is going to give you, it would be something if it was a 5,000 rand, maybe even a 2,000, because people can take that.
Maybe to be optimistic, 1,000
1,000 what?
pairs.
Sang.
No, I'm just saying that, let's say minimum.
No, they said it's 600 pairs.
Yeah.
They manufactured 600 pairs and Racho at a cost of 500. That's 300,000 rand risk. And then Woto Aring, Barry, you will pay us when you've raised the money for these pairs. And these are the same pairs which he admittedly says are low quality, don't have a logo.
So people bought that.
Yeah, bought it because the social media. This is a made up story.
Yeah, let's continue.
That is a smart way of raising money because a lot of the times
That is a smart way.
raising money.
Let's hear what is the smart way of raising money again.
Money, we can give you this. We don't do this for anyone.
We don't do this for anyone.
Design, we think this can work in other different colors. You know, I had chosen pink because I wanted
Pink.
to attract women. You know, because I know Uchi like I'm actually buy. So I took the 26 pairs. I sold, I think about 5 of them. I created the website, the one that is
5.
I'm currently using.
26 minus 5, 21 remaining.
I made Facebook pages, Twitter, and then I deleted my personal Facebook page.
How much did he sell them for with no
Previous
logo?
Conversations. Because now I was going as an entrepreneur.
At 1,000 rand?
Negative growth that I used to post there to actually appear. You know, as I'm now going into a different journey in my life, you know, and then I was like, okay, for now, this is a much more positive person, a person who's now going to retain. I'm a new man right now going into this business, you know, and it actually worked. So the first tweet that I actually posted, I spoke about my story. I spoke about how I actually started into the sneaker business back in 2003, and people started retweeting. They started sharing, and it actually blew and it trended. Before the product was even here, Drip was already trending. And the first ones, they didn't even have the branding because they were just a prototype of the sneaker.
Yeah.
So I sold the name.
So the 600 pairs did not have a name.
They didn't have the name at all. So I took the logo and the shoe here and I actually said, this is Drip. The what we are buying here is Drip. Doesn't have a brand, but I'm telling you, this is Drip. You know, so that is exactly what I actually sold. So people warmed up into that idea. They started, you know, I'm doing the pre-order that I was actually telling you about earlier on. We started I'm paying money, and that is how we actually raised the capital to actually take out the 600 pairs.
Oh wow!
That is how he actually raised the money, and then what?
That's how
He sold 600 pairs.
Yeah, and then so that's how he raised his money. The manufacturer
600 pairs times
300,000 rands worth.
600 pairs times 1,000.
600. That's 600,000. That's lies. Kore ayon to go fela. Mamela G. For the fact that is someone
So
going to
600
outlay
pairs times 1,000
is 600,000. So that's the revenue he generated off of sneakers which don't have branding and
How
a
do-
low quality. And low quality.
Remember, now when I bought it in a store, 1,000.
No, but that's already the drip rollout. Now that's him already. It's already big. I get now the money's been pushed in and whatever. Remember, he's trying to explain how he came up to be able to be the brand that he is. So the finished product that you bought was already manufactured hand. This is before.
Yes.
This is after the 600.
But do you
pairs.
think on Erixa for that price, 1,000
So,
in the beginning?
It's lies. You know why? Because I've got 1,000 rand. Why would I take 1,000 rand and buy an unknown, unbranded, low quality
Supporting
sneaker?
black business. That's an idea.
Show me anyone who will take 1,000 rand and support black business with a prototype product. When you've got 1,000 rand, you've got various options: All Star, Jack Purcell, Nike, Puma, Adidas. All of those, you're gonna pass up all those options to support black business.
So that's how you raise the money. But now,
It's lies, G. Kimaka. Let me give you another example. Hari
Musadiam.
No. She said it herself. Kori, I'm asking her, how did she raise 300,000 rand here?
No, maybe part of the money comes from also the wife. It's not that 600 pairs. But 600 pairs.
Joman, I don't. Oh, that's 600,000. That's 600,000 rand.
What do you think, guy? That's a question.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed to have asked that question.
Yes.
How much was one pair?
Yes.
That you sold?
Yes. What was your cost of production? What's your
No,
what's your
not even the cost. How much did you sell this?
Yes.
This product.
Then we can understand what in that profit here, and then but still, 300,000 rand. The manufacturer fronted you 300,000 rands worth of goods. Nobody does it. That's not done. Anyway, and we don't usually do this for anybody, but we're gonna do it for you. So this is the second case of him being given something to make money off of. Let's take it back to Pramike. Mike would say he gave him.
There's just too many holes in this story.
Yeah, he says the Mike gave him 50 or 500 chickens. He doesn't remember. Let's work on the bigger end of it. The 500. 500. How much is a chicken?
I don't know. I can say no. I mean, it's been years. 80 rand, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Let's work with 80 rand. A chicken, a live chicken. I get it. Mike gave him. So what is it? What's 5 times 8? 45. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dipalo mo. It's a dipalo mo no kaka cell phone. So
what is it? What is it again? Sorry.
Mental
gymnastics.
Yeah, no,
what is it?
Too grown.
Yeah, we're saying 500 chickens
80 times 500. Yeah. So
40,000.
We grown. Yeah.
40,000.
Okay.
So Mike gave him 40,000 rand worth of stock, live chickens to sell.
We're going to head our feelings here.
40,000 rands worth of.
Just like the contractors who will sell off plan.
Yeah.
And use that money to build further.
Who was covering for him here?
So that is how I
That's how you raise money. That is a smart way of raising money because a lot of the times
you're riding
him.
You're a groupie. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not
So
interviewing the man.
I had to go to the factory and say, guys, this is what I'm doing on social media. People actually laugh. They actually love my story more because they can relate to me. They can relate to what I actually.
How many people come up
in life? You know,
I'm sorry. How many people have similar, if not worse, stories than him? He's not the poster child for poverty, G. To the point where you write a post on social media, and then companies are gonna come and just give you business like that, give you stock up front like that. It's a spectrum. I don't know there's people who never grew up in a shack, who grew up more strating, bagulang strating. There are people till today who are on the street, have been on the streets their entire lives. There's a famous guy, I forgot him, social media, he was homeless. I think Leonardo is still homeless, but he's a social media trending guy.
Okay, I'm more than fanatic. Yeah, when I died,
You understand?
The guy with big lips.
I don't remember, but he's homeless. How many? That's even worse off than Lekau.
No, he's got this voice,
or something. I
don't know
remember.
whether you.
Who's fronting? Why doesn't he have a record label deal? No one does that. Your story as difficult as it is, we acknowledge. But to use that to the point that you're the first poor person to come, tell them a story like that, and then they front 300,000 rands worth of stock. That's all lies. If you've ever sold anything, social media, people complain about if I post I'm on vacation somewhere, you'll get 1,000 likes. But post that you're starting a new business, you'll get 0 likes. Or 0 support from family and friends and whatever. Why do you think that's so? Selling is not easy.
No, it's not. It's not.
These things take to build a brand takes time.
It takes time, yeah.
Branding is marketing. They engrave it enough times in your mind for you to feel that, you know what, this is worth my money.
It's not easy.
Zbu, the only reason why Mofire was able to push off and he was able to push the way he did was because of his personality already as a celeb,
brand.
And he still pushed and still didn't move the units that he had anticipated to make.
Yeah. No, I can't remember.
And then
because again, but they used to Red Bull. So Red Bull, that taste that so we compare as and as
I've never drank Mofire. I've never drank it.
Not it. You know, it got Kool-Aid.
I've never drank it.
You know, it tastes like Kool-Aid or a drink of pop to some extent.
Lena, he learned very fast. It's not pop and flesh. Your name as DJ's Boo doesn't sell as much. Jesus. His angle was that this is an outlet for hustlers to make money off of my product. I'm gonna sell it to you.
I remember
a 6-pack for.
I remember there is on a TikTok. Somebody posted when he was defending this lady Chidima, so to speak. Barumelo ukuthi nalomkhamo wakhe lo nomelo ukuthi ubhede.
Mofire. Oh. And it's not to say he's not trying to build a brand. He's not trying to
but
build
yeah,
an energy drink.
nalumkam wakhe lo akuthengisayo lo siyakubhena now.
How many years has MoFire been running?
I don't know.
MoFire, you still don't find it in many places.
I don't know, but anyway, it's just a side note.
He needs to relay MoFire to Drip and say no, but that doesn't make sense.
No, it does not. He knows very well.
And yeah, high nearly 20 rand. I don't know even how much MoFire is.
No, it was on the pricing strategy was probably the strategy was to price the same way as Red Bull prices it.
It was not going to come right.
And then I think the sales didn't go as
Of course not.
Yeah, the product was not moving as it is required on the shelves, and because I think he had distribution agreements with these other guys. But I know your product is not moving. That you need to lower your prices so that we can be able to sell this thing. And then he went probably to the prices that he is now.
And then you know what else we go back to happen? When he manufactured all those drinks, he didn't manufacture a carton, a tray. He didn't manufacture 24.
It was quite a lot.
He had to put significant money down to do thousands, including the canning and all of that.
All of that, yeah.
And then try sell it off. But Sbu and his partners in that venture put down their money.
Yeah. Well, I'll fit it out here.
You know, social media and Twitter most of the time is toxic. So when something positive happens, they're like, oh, finally, you know, a breath of fresh air, you know, someone is doing something great, let us support this guy. So that is actually what kickstarted the business. You know, the interviews that I started doing, being on TV, being on radio, having more customers without even having the 600 pairs at first. You know, as soon as they come, I got the shoes. I had never seen so many shoes in my life. You know, and then they were all mine. I was like, this is me right now. I was even scared. I'm like, God, how am I going to sell all these shoes?
Yeah.
But they sold within 2 weeks. You know,
Nice.
I had already made the online store. I had already started working with the media companies. Said, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing. I had already developed the system that we are currently working on today. I have developed them from first day of starting the business.
It's nice.
From 26 July when I started selling to when we sold the 600 pairs. And the business was now kickstarted, you know. And I was like, okay, fine, let me just do away with the pink one. It doesn't have a brand. Let me just now go back and rebrand and have much more colors, because I realized South Africans love color, you know. And so like I introduced the yellow one and the red one, which was the 2nd of December. The other funny thing,
2nd of December 2019.
The other funny
Little
thing,
do you know that in a few months there's a lockdown.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah. The other thing is, like I was actually talking to you the other day, so like I have to open a soul mold. So what was happening is, each and every time when I have to open a soul mold, I had to pay 15,000 rands. So like the factory gave me from size 3 to size 7. So size 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I have to pay 15,000 rands so they can open the soul mold. So each and every shoe that I sold before the 2nd of December, I didn't even afford to wear. I didn't even have the drip myself. You know, I was selling the drip wearing other shoes. I was doing interviews of me, asked about it, but I didn't afford to actually open a soul mold. Only the 2nd of December when I had taken all the money and I reinvested into now, you know, changing the soul mold and changing the sole as well, branding the shoe, making it more comfortable, making it more of a breathable sneaker as well. That was the 2nd December when I started having the 2 colors, red and yellow.
So guys, when he's talking about the mold, he's talking about the instrument that they use. The mold is the instrument that they use to create this rubber so that it looks like this. Just like we've got a mold to create this bottle, for it to have all these flames and all of this stuff. There is a mold, and there is a mold for this, and it's expensive. Guys who manufacture know how expensive molds can be.
Yeah, it was very expensive. So for a size 8, someone said, I want a size 8. I'm like, I have to pay 15,000 for size 8.
So in the previous part, to set up that minimum order, but it's 600. Basically, the sizes, and then you said, the sizes. You could have done 100 pairs, size 7, 100 pairs, size 8, 100 pairs. But it's 15,000 rand per size mold, according to them. So which means that first 600 pairs came in one size, if ke need into a buang.
Ke mathata mos.
And then how are you selling 600 pairs of size 7 only in a space of 2 weeks? Hukwa makao. Those are lies.
Anyway, that what trippy are we
15,000 for size 9. 15,000, you know, each and every size needed 15,000 rands. So the first time I actually rocked a drip sneaker was the 2nd of December, and I've never worn anything else since then. You know, so now I had over 1,000.
Since I've worn it.
Yeah.
Since I've also worn drip. I've never worn anything else apart from Batu. Drip and Batu one way.
Thanks very much.
I wonder how much you got paid if you got paid for this, because this sounds like paid premium.
Yeah, you know, and then the shoes that I had made were 1,200 pairs, so I had doubled production right now. It's festive season, and remember, I don't even have a car. You know, only have one car that my wife uses because we have a young child at home. You know, so I was asking for friends to actually deliver. December then was the biggest month ever. You know, actually crossed over 1.2 million.
What did the wife say?
And then just going back again to the previous conversation we had, the previous part, that one series that was sold, we thought it was the wife's one series. I go to Naiteke High, and then we said, okay, it has to be the wife's car because she was the one who had affordability. So the wife still had the car. These are points.
So
I'm
which
raising.
car did they sell?
He sold her one series. I get. So I'm just raising these because these are the inconsistencies in the story.
In the story, yeah. Unless, anyway.
Friends, you know, I have never seen so much money in my life. I've never sold so much money. I've never worked so hard in my life. You know, we trended, we kept on trending, we kept on, you know, knocking on other doors. You know, other companies started knocking on ours as well. You know, want to have this shoe inside our shops. You know, those type of things. So that was when I was actually sitting down and say, okay, fine, I'm going to develop a business model for this thing. I don't want to be a brand that only just came, trended, and then left. I'm going to create a company out of this thing. You know, we're going to have more designs. We're going to build our own offices. We're going to build stores. You know, so that was when the freedom actually started, and much more work. You know, was being developed in terms of us. You know, now reinvesting into the brand.
Wow, what an incredible story, my brother. But you know what I love is you've just been reinvesting everything back into the business, which is exactly what I've also been going through.
Yeah.
Because a lot of entrepreneurs, we want to...
Really, so many stores in the malls and Kapa, are we not supposed to know those kind of...
This is more of a parade and selling a story, packaging it up as a rags to riches.
This is embellishment.
I don't know what embellishment.
No, embellishment means ukhabisa.
Yeah. It's decorative. Yeah, embellishment. This is a parade. They're selling us a rags to riches story, and unfortunately, a lot of our people fall for this easily because Rona, we don't think deeper than what we see at face value. And what a man like this tells you, there's other questions that need to be asked. You understand? There's much more that goes into creating any brand, any business, wow. If I sat with this guy and we had this conversation, there would have never been a wow. You only wow me. I saw you've done. You know. But after having analyzed and asked the questions that need to be asked,
let's hear the.
You know, we want to extract and withdraw and think that money is ours. So how do you make a living? Do you take a salary? Has your staff grown? How does your business right now look like?
Yeah. Right now, a little much bigger than this time last year, obviously, and we have 2 stores, and we are building 4 more at different malls. We have staff, you know, we have guys who actually deliver. So we have a logistics side of the business that deliver around Gauteng. And yeah, I do take a salary from the business. I get paid. Sometimes it's just low because you didn't do well.
Sometimes you don't get paid.
Sometimes I actually don't get paid. So it's only actually this year that I actually started getting a salary. So yeah, but currently we are doing very well. They say there are two things in retail business: either you're not doing well or you are growing very fast. So those are two problems. Sometimes growing very fast can be a problem, because you're not able to actually meet the growth of the business. So, but at least we are able to diagnose that and work around it. So we are actually growing very, very fast.
And that's beautiful. And how are you handling that? Because growing very fast can be very challenging as well.
Yeah. Most of the time, our problem is just cash flow. When we have 2,000 customers right now, the next month no longer 2,000, 4,000 or 5,000. They want the product that we actually just offered them. So how do you meet that? We just take our whole money and put it into production again. Then we are broke. And then people now we have 4,000 people who have 4,000 units in stock, but the demand is now 10,000. So it's a repetitive cycle.
Like that.
But we were like, okay, if I then just create again this.
Now you can understand why this thing.
Just make more to actually meet the
Because
demand.
Wamuka, even in the way that he's
stores,
telling the
so that is
story,
what we
even
actually do,
from
because we
trying to
know our
understand
problems. Our problem is that we're not able to meet
Stores.
the demand.
stores.
Currently.
Try to understand from stores. They've got 2 stores. They're going to open 4 more. Where does that money come from?
And then it doesn't mean if you sold 2,000 pairs this month, next month you're going to sell 4,000. And then this month, that's exponential, double growth. I worked for some guys, 2011, 2012. There's 2 ways to gain any experience in any industry that you want to do business in. Either you're going to do your ground research, like I said, in the previous part, you do your research and then you go out and then you run your business and then you just adapt to the problems and to the and then you learn as you go ahead.
Yes.
Right? Or if you have no idea completely about the industry, like I never did of retail and he didn't have or doesn't have, then you go work for someone to learn the intricacies of the business. So the gents that I worked for, shout out to Nat, shout out to Mias, they're the guys that bought in Supreme Being. I don't know if anyone remembers, but Supreme Being was a UK brand. It was a great brand.
Okay.
I
don't know it anyway.
Streetwear.
Okay.
And Majita, the first shop was there at the Glen Mall, and they used to call the store Dapper Streetwear.
Okay.
So these guys had the license to bring in the brand, not only bring in the brand, but now they're responsible now for obviously marketing and selling and building the customer base and all of that. In those 2 years I worked for the gents, there was never a time where this month we did 1,000 rand in sales, next month we're going to do 2,000 rand in sales. It doesn't work like it never worked like that. And the amount of money having to be pumped in by external, because now these are gents from more well-off families, so they had that financial support.
Yeah.
I mean, just to open a shop at the Glen at those times back then, it wasn't a small shop, but it wasn't a Pick and Pay. It was a standalone store in a mall. Renting nearly 70,000 rand.
That's a lot of money.
70,000 rand. So 70,000 rand. How much sales have to be done a day? Because that's how you got to break it down. So on a good day where the owners would be, satisfied with sales, would be anywhere in the region of 4,000 to 6,000 rand a day. And then these guys are selling clothes. So it's clothes, it's sneakers, it's caps, it's accessories. But you also can't have a single brand store.
Yeah.
So then they also had other brands. They had Feyui, I forgot the name of the brand. But they had other brands. And then they ended up getting in a relationship with Adidas, for example, because people are not going to come to one store. So Abasariki Supreme Being, at least they've got other options to be able to sell. And that's 4,000 to 6,000 a day that they had to make in order to be able to cover costs, rent, and the guys were putting salaries. I worked for those guys for over 2 years. Expansion only happened after 2 years. Mias was the other owner of the brand, and then they opened up a store in Rosebank, and then they opened up another one in Cape Town. He was already getting into starter fits to be able to push more units. This is 2 years, and selling more than just a sneaker.
Other things as well.
Yeah, other things as well. So I forgot why I've just missed my train of thought of why I raised this. But
No. I think.
the shop.
To
To set up a shop. 70,000 rand outlay. So he's saying, we've got 2 shops. We've got 2 shops. We're gonna open up another 2. So the big question mark here now has to be, where is the cash injection coming
from?
It's not.
That's a legitimate question. He should have asked us. Zbu should have asked that question.
Yeah.
Where is the cash injection coming from?
This is the big question mark.
Are you making so much sales?
He can't be, because even got 1,200 stock, 1,000 that's 1 million rand.
Plus they've got logistics as well at the start.
Who's doing your logistics? How are you doing the logistics? Mind you, this is a company that only 2-3 years ago was sponsoring a PSL team in terms of kit. Do you know what kit sponsorship is? Kit sponsorship is so far a team, the Treksutu,
and then they were sponsoring kit during Nakwe, Panyaza, Lisufi before he became premier. Or was he? No, he was
already the owner. He was already a part owner.
Yeah, Swallows.
So you see, as we dig deeper and layer it, you start to see certain discrepancies.
Yeah, because for example, now if we talk about this whole drip, all of a sudden, because now he's facing bankruptcy issues, you get people like Bo Maile, MMC of Finances and Gauteng now said that there was a report allegedly he was asking the Treasury to bail drip out.
So
Maile, then there was Malema got involved in this thing. This guy. Then my question then becomes, why all these politicians want this company? What's the interest? Why all these politicians want this business to be rescued so much? You know what I mean? And it is the only business. How many businesses that face liquidations about products that don't get this much attention in terms of them being rescued? How many businesses of black people that closed? It sort of raises a lot of questions in terms of why is this drip business having politicians making statements about it, and even in the media, because it's black, because black excellence, whatever. But we don't want fake black excellence. We don't want fake. We don't want to be so desperate to sell a black success story to such an extent that whatever it takes, you're painting a false narrative, and we don't want that, because a lot of people can try to do it the way Drip did it, and then when the reality faces them and say, but this is not possible, there is no way, I've done everything, or at least I've tried to follow the model.
Yeah, Lekau, for example. And that's where it's like, why did it fail? Because it never happened.
Let's be truthful in how we do things.
If it's difficult, let's know it's difficult.
Yeah, because business is not an easy thing.
If it's easy, okay, it's easy.
It does not matter. It's not.
What's
true entrepreneurship is not easy.
Totally. So do you still want to continue listening on, or do we wrap this?
No. Before we wrap,
and give full-on conclusion.
Let's hear the sweet this sugar that comes out of Zbu's mouth.
So that is what we're actually doing right now to fund the growth of the business.
It's a beautiful thing, because your story is exactly similar to my story.
All right.
1,000 units in stock, but the demand is now 10,000.
10,000.
It's a repetitive cycle that we were like, okay, but let's just create again this the pre-order thing, so we can have the cash, then we can just make more.
The demand now is 10,000.
Demand, and also open the stores, So that is what we're actually doing, because we know our problems. Our problem is that we're not able to meet the demand, currently.
Which is 10,000.
So that is what we're actually doing right now to fund the growth of the business.
It's a beautiful thing, because your story is exactly similar to my story. Very, very
then
the same.
You don't know what you're doing in business.
Your personal story is more the same, like my business partners was Pew, coming from a squatter camp and that type of a background, and having to develop yourself and get yourself, acquire an education, and then eventually get into business. But when you get into business, you get blessed. The public loves your product, and the demand is so big but you're struggling to meet the demand because of how you must manage cash flow and how you have to reinvest back into the business. It's the same thing with us. They call it growing pains, and it's just that level of an entrepreneur having to scale up. We've just scaled up into these new products. We started with the energy drinks right now. We've got four energy drink flavors, and now we've got 12 different flavors of these. So we are going through a journey of scaling up. But scaling up doesn't mean you're making any more money, because whatever you're making, you still have to. Because the demand is just so big. We're doing well, but still a lot of people all over the country, they still can't find the product. It's just like yours. The demand, but it's a good problem to have. You know what I mean? So any plans of diversifying at a later stage, maybe into other products, or you still focusing on this one? Do you want to grow it as much as you can before you can diversify into other designs or other products? Will it one day become a clothing brand? Probably. What are some of the ideas that you have for the future? The ones that you might want to share on camera. I know some you don't want to share. Probably, some things you don't want to say because maybe you might jinx it. True that. This design is currently doing very well, and it hasn't even reached its peak. I don't think so too. Let me come in there as well, by the way, guys. I've been wearing this design for about 2 months now. It's about two months. No, I think it's longer than that. But I've been wearing the other colors for 2 months now. I'm impressed, bro. Because I wanted to give you feedback after I've even washed it. I've jogged with it. I've gone to the gym with it. I've trained with it. I've worn it in a suit. Yesterday I was wearing it in Durban in a suit. Do you know what I mean? Because it serves for different occasions. And maybe you can also touch on that before you answer the other question. So the
design they're talking about here.
What is it ideal for? Or somebody else can ask. Is it a training shoe? Is it a
And I think it's nice. Not from my position. It's a nice design.
I rock it with a suit and I look great.
I was in a photo shoot the other day with Tepotala. He makes suits, So I was actually wearing a drip. So it's very, very ideal for that as well. The initial design when we worked on the design was just for walking. For tobacco cars who actually walk a lot without cars, so that how it was spanning on that particular day, you don't have to take your shoes off because we had a long day. So this one, just keep it on because it's still comfortable.
I don't know if maybe you share the same sentiments like everybody else who says blacks don't support each other.
Not at all. There wouldn't be a drip. We trended. There's this thing called Black Twitter. We trended there because of Black Twitter. We sold the first sneaker I sold the first sneaker to a black woman. We are here and we are a black company supported by black people. They've been there for us from day one. So the black people actually support. They support. I'm actually wearing a Richinese now. I've seen him trend all over. He's doing well as well. So they're actually supporting us. That doesn't exist at all.
And shout out to Simo. I'm also wearing a Simo opportunities. Simo from Durban as well.
All right. Okay.
Simo. We're keeping it black.
Right. Let's wrap this thing up. Ladies and gentlemen, I think probably why we needed to get and sort of off the cuff understand why this business failed, because there were already red flags from the beginning. A lot of red flags from the beginning. One of the red flags is that drip Raibona, it's been marketed social media, but on a day-to-day we don't see a lot of people wearing drip. Number one, we see a lot of All Stars, we see a lot of Nike and other and this one it's an N, I get to be N sneaker.
New
Balance as well. Those are sneakers that you see, and then every now and then you will see a drip. So from off the cuff, that gives a perspective as to how popular is the sneaker. Number one. Number two, another thing that one gentleman mentioned, I think it was Nota, I don't want to misquote him, but one thing that he mentioned was that it had a lot of billboards, so much billboards that drip, but you don't see that translatable into day-to-day people wearing drip, meaning that the billboards, they are there, but you don't see a lot of people wearing drip. It should influence that. Marketing should influence sales. Am I correct?
What's that notating? Just add on to what he said.
Yes.
Is it about the amount of, you only see drip and Batu billboards from M1 Greyston to New Road Midrand on the M1. That's the only place where you see any kind of visible marketing.
Yes.
The billboard. Why? And this is a sneaker that's supposed to be national, doing all of this. Between Greyston and that's I don't know how, maybe a 10 kilometer stretch.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not even a 10 kilometer stretch. 3, 4, 5 kilometer stretch of highway. Nationality billboard, bar 2, literate. Why?
Why? Because the target market is for those people.
No, Leona, that in itself doesn't make sense. How do you have a stretch? That's what not us. That's what he says. Just so that.
And that was what 3 years before, three years before, no? Before the implosion of the business. Before, yeah.
Even now, I'm sure the billboards are still up. I don't know. Okay, anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So, but all I'm saying is that the red flags were there. Kure, there's just too many questions that we're asking ourselves in terms of how quickly this thing grew and the type of marketing and where the stores are situated. You know what I'm saying? Because the stores are situated Kobo Molong, you know, and how much is the rent and how many sales are they making in order to afford the rent and all of that. I think, you see, I don't think.
Give us your takeaway from this.
Okay, now this is my takeaway.
Yeah.
I think this thing can still sell, personally, but you have to change your whole business approach and business model. Because I think it's nice. I mean, it's totally different from Batu. You know, move away from the mall, whatever the case might be. As per order, but start there again. Because a lot of fundamentals were skipped here. One thought? A lot. Get a warehouse somewhere, probably. Nice warehouse that is affordable. You know, whereby you do online orders rather than stores. Because that's where it got the traction. And we're talking Twitter again. Most of his marketing comes from there. Most of his sales comes from there. Black Twitter, as it is mentioned here. So that is where I think also the illusion to say that Black Twitter is a perception of the entire nation.
I'm not on Twitter.
You see what I'm saying? But since that is the customer base that had convinced you that this is going to work, based on your narrative to say that 600 pairs were sold, you know, so stick to that online mortgage first and grow from there. So now, hence the question as to where do you get the money to build all those stores? Where is the cash injection coming from? So to rent a store. Having a store means that you need to pay rent and then employees and things. Those are overheads that, how many sales do you need to do? So I think probably from the business model approach, that's where that Lekau missed it. He was supposed to, for some time, keep it as an online thing. First, push it there, because that's where the traction was. That's where his sales come from. That is where the majority, or the majority of his sales were generated.
He alleges, or that's where the sales came.
Well, okay, let's just take it on face value. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
One. Because the design, the name, drip, it's nice. I have a pair, black one. Not this design. Let's say probably the one before that one. On top. So I think probably the approach, that's where he missed it. The approach of his business. He wanted now, he thought now we must be big. And then in his mind, big meaning that being like other stores, bo Nike, bo what. Whereas these are multinational corporations. You are not there yet. That does not mean you're not thinking, because the most important thing, you must be big not in appearance but in profits. Because that's another thing, that how do you define success? Do you define success because you are visible everywhere, or do you define success that you are making sales and making money and yet you're not visible everywhere? Success is money. Challenge.
The end goal of any enterprise.
Any enterprise, I don't care how many. Success is money. It's money. That's what success is. I might not be known everywhere, but if I'm making money and I'm able to reach my customer, I'm successful. and I'm able through my money to be able to buy, I mean to make a living, maybe live in a very nice house, whatever the case might be, take my children to school, and then when you ask me what I'm doing this type of business, and yet I'm not known all over. I'm successful. I don't have to be known all over. Whatever, where I'm making my sales, you know, I've got my customer base that I'm providing this service or this product to, and then I'm making money from that. I'm successful, right?
So you believe that drip is this could
Yeah,
be
no,
salvageable
yeah.
situation?
I think it's still salvageable. I think it is. What we should do, first of all, because the marketing became big, I understand, and it gave us a perspective.
Let's touch on that, because so it's under liquidation as a result of a 20 million rand marketing service that they received. Now, 20 million rand, and then they never paid, and then now this service provider, marketing firm, has now gone and got a court order to liquidate the company,
so that they can get paid.
Yeah, they can sell off
Assets, so that they can
try to recover 20 million rand.
That's true.
Now, so that's what's come down to the unraveling of
this whole story.
Yeah. So I go Butore. It's salvageable in relation to what is the.
It's salvageable that drip can still sell. The business can still work. Okay. Not in the scale, but it can still make money. He can still say, okay, now I'm still keeping this product, but the approach must be different. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Hence, I mentioned that the customer base in online, Twitter, and all. That's where he got popularity. You understand? Olai Lasha, when he started going and wanting to be like other sneaker brands that are multinational corporations, like Nike, Adidas, those have been there for years. And then when you listen to him, Wakabo Kanye West and how the Kanye West started, and those were his inspirations. And so I think the product. There's nothing wrong with the product. Absolutely nothing. Do you understand? The only thing is then the approach of selling this product. It is still sellable. That thing is beautiful. That shoe is nice. The design is nice. Okay. The design is nice. Put away issue style inside Wahai. Let's put aside issue style between them and between him and his wife. That's between the two of them. We will not entertain that. We are dealing strictly with business collapse. Why? So owing 20 million to the marketing agency that took care of your marketing and all of that. Where did the 20 million? Where did that marketing type of marketing, 20 million marketing capital injection come from? You know what I mean? How do you afford that? You see, opening and then also at the same time, that's during the time that Batu was rising, right? Around the same time, Batu and Drip. So you wanted to be like Batu, maybe, I don't know. But I'm thinking that the approach was wrong. So Okabatu approach high. But the product is perfect. And I don't think that he should actually let go of this thing. He just simply needs to, keep on with this product, but the approach must be different. Go online and have a warehouse somewhere, small warehouse. Somewhere. Do you get what I mean? Small warehouse. Maybe another born. They were married in Alam Madua. How about the farts? Born. I want to do right by you. I'm sorry I have to involve Tabar. I want to do right by you, or I want to pay back some of the. This is the approach. It's online. You get a percentage of what we sell, because online doesn't have a lot of stock. A lot of overheads. You've got your storage somewhere. You have your supply already. And you start advertising again with different designs again. Think about it. From the factory to the consumer. Do you understand? So people can actually order from the factory to the consumer. That's an approach I think he should take. In total, the molo and everything like that. Have an appearance of having made it as we thought you had. But Rona, some of us that are scrutinizing this things are no, because I don't see this shoe, a lot of it on the streets. But look at the type of marketing that they're getting and the stores. And even when I went to go and buy that store, I mean, generally it was empty, man. I mean, buy that shoe. Generally it was empty.
Stores are always empty.
Yeah, that empty. You don't see how even you like a Gucci. Gucci, you know, a huge line, a long line. Do you know what I mean? Or you go to the stores like your, what do you call, a sports scene. You will always see a badge, but not with drip. That's what I'm saying. So your customer base is online. Come with different designs, drip, yeah. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
All right. That's where Mascombi stands with it.
Yeah. I think it can still work now, honestly speaking.
All right. What my viewpoint on this entire story now, I can only agree with you in terms of that it could have salvaged the situation and all of that, so far as this was a genuine business venture. Okay. Nah. Then it's just a matter of you had a brand, you had been running your business, you've done all the groundwork through the experience and all that. Nah. And then you got an injection that you grew too big, or you took on something which was bigger than what you were supposed to have taken on. Nah. And then you realize, I've overburdened the business at this point. Let me go back. Many entrepreneurs do that. Right? You find a guy with a store, but the rental overhead is still too much for what the business is on. I know. Go shop and then go back to the basics. Nah. I agree with you if this was a genuine business scenario. But I am of the definite opinion where this was not a genuine business venture. This was actually a scam. Okay. A Phonzi scheme, actually. Okay. All right. So the first thing, we just look at nothing made sense in the entire build-up of how this business was built. Nothing makes sense. Now we've gone through the numbers. We've tried to, corroborate. I agree with you. Nothing makes sense. Yeah, nothing makes sense. That's the first thing. Abu Baidi, why do I say it's a Phonzi scheme? The only reason why it's been allowed to go on this long is because there was a cash injection coming out from somewhere to sustain all of this. Of course. I can agree with you there. Yeah. 14 stores across the country, I think it says. In a short space of time like that. Yeah. And then all these shops require rental to be paid every month. How many employees are employed? Right? That's what I'm saying. Maybe let's say to a shop. Or let's say to a shop. So at 14 stores, there's 28 people employed. It could be more, right? And then you've got trucks, you've got vans, and then a warehouse facility. I know, but to build a warehouse facility from scratch, I don't know about this one. Okay. Buying whether they bought or rented, but at the end of the day, it's still infrastructure that needs a lot of cash injection to be able to sustain. Drip, you don't see, it's not a common sneaker. So it's not. So we'll have to ask. And it was supposed to be. Well, it was paraded. It was presented as a big sneaker brand. Yeah, that's you see, that's where the issue is. That's what I'm saying to you, that nice thing, it can still work. Provided they go back to basics. To the fundamentals. Yeah. It was paraded as a big sneaker brand. And that's why the thinking, the big sneaker brand, because they need to justify. So all the shops, remember all the shops. The big sneaker brand, because they need to justify all the shops in the malls and everything. And I hear your point. The money that's being spent. Yeah, because questions will be asked. So 14 stores across the country, you've got this, it's a big success story. Yeah. Where it unravels for Bona, so it goes with why this whole scheme has collapsed. Is because to continue running it, there has to be money coming in. Yeah. A lot of money to maintain the facade that this thing is in. You understand? Yeah. When that tap gets closed, this is when now you stop being able to pay rent, stop being able to pay employees, stop being able to sustain anything. Was it not the sneakers that were carrying the business? The sales? Was it not that? As it should. So then you have a situation now you can't maintain all of this. Yeah, the pompots are taken now. So naturally, it's going to collapse.
And that's what happened.
That's the second thing. The third thing, let's talk about the marketing agency that does 20 million rands worth of work.
Marketing.
Now, 20 million rands worth of work without a cent. The first question, what marketing was this? Because the only billboards we know are between the M1, like Nota said, Grayston, and Ellen Drive. I think it's Ellen Drive. Moment rate. So this 20 million rand, where did the marketing go? First, you need to justify how this was marketed. The second thing then becomes, what company does 20 million rands worth of work
without being paid
a single cent? You do 1 million rands worth of work without a cent is already a big ask. We're going back to fundamentals of business practice. Which firm is prepared to do 20 million rands worth of work? On what basis? That is going to blow up. You're going to pay. This is the third instance where.
And I thought that
this is the third instance.
And I thought, when it comes to marketing, these companies get paid, and then they put your thing there. And
every company does that. Everybody gets
because
paid.
Whether the people buy your product or
It's
not,
irrelevant.
it's irrelevant. Billboard, they've put wherever it needs to go, and then they've done their job.
So 20 million rands, and then you take them to liquidate. So that's already so. And then I'm going to explain why this is
The Phonzi
important
scheme.
for this. Yeah.
Okay.
And then thirdly, then we go and say, in 5 years of running a business, you were able to sponsor, kid sponsor for Morocco Swallows. Don't follow me, follow the Dual Birds.
Yeah.
Ne? A kit sponsor. So meaning training gear, training kit, kit bags, all apparel, the team kit. It's not only a team sponsorship, kit sponsorship. It's not only about Obafa, the kit, and then that's it. There's a financial contribution.
Yes.
Why do you think Puma sponsors Sundowns? Not because they like Sundowns. They've come to an agreeable deal. Because in exchange for us providing you these and paying you this, and to ensure that our kit is what's worn by you guys, people, Sundown supporters, are going to go to the shops to buy Puma.
Yeah, they've got a what they call a captive audience, so to speak, or captive
and
customer.
it's a two-way relationship.
Yes.
But companies pay. Puma pays Sundowns. Adidas pays Pirates.
That's true.
Kappa ipatala Chiefs. And then all the smaller teams that in the PSL they don't have, but it's an international thing. That's how kid sponsorship works.
That's how it works. Yes.
Where did you get the money to sponsor all of that?
Yeah.
Where did you get the money to sponsor? What was supported? What was supporting that sponsorship?
Yes.
Right. Then we go back to there's money coming in from somewhere that needs to be funneled out. And then the point that you raised originally, at the time, Panyaza was one of the owners of Swallows.
Yes,
him and some
at that
other
time,
businessman.
No, there was that period whereby they had ownership before it became Premier.
So when you connect the dots, we connect the dots, the only thing that we don't know here is where's the money coming from. He never disclosed. The lie that we're being told is that this is money that was built up.
Because if you borrowed money from Standard Bank, you would mention that I borrowed auto, IDC supplied. Those things would be mentioned. You know what I'm saying? So
this, to connect it all, I will then say that this is a conspiracy. It's a scheme that went on. There's access, because this can't be a private financier, because no private company is.
No, none.
Because this is wastage.
It's a wastage.
This is a looting spree. Whichever institution funded this got looted. So it's a government institution. That's
it's
the
a possible, allegedly.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Okay, anyway.
Because you also look at the outcry of these politicians.
Yes.
How many deserving black businesses go under every single year?
Yeah.
How many people did 28 if we give them
I agree with you.
28 employees.
I agree with you.
The only time they could ever step in is if a ShopRite, for example, stands to close its doors.
Then you say, hey, we're going to lose jobs
There's
here.
thousands of jobs, thousands of
I
livelihoods.
mean, how many people does he employ?
Not even 100.
Yeah.
Not even 30.
So why such a big outcry?
Because it's all one big facade, you understand? And then it's about work out they need to put, this is a black business can't go down. It went down because this is the Phonzi scheme. The taps to the finances have been closed off, and that's it. And now this spectacular collapse is being portrayed as a business failure, it grew too fast, too quick. If the backstory made sense, then we can believe it.
Yeah.
You understand that? And then we'd also have to have understanding of who was the financier. They put money in and it failed. So that's not the case. So
A lot of questions were not answered.
yeah, and
Were not asked.
yeah. So in conclusion, unless I can be proven otherwise, this drip is a front company for some other activities to be able to funnel money out of a government institution, right? And in what they spent on the company is a mere fraction of what was split behind the scenes. So
Hey Nyaguzo,
So drip,
Mfaka K.
yeah. So drip, Lipat, both same playbook.
You think?
The evidence is there.
Okay.
The
The red marks are there.
there, it's there. The paintings are the dots are there. We just need to connect.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yeah, but
Both-
you've been running for a long time.
No, same setup, people. Same setup here.
Maybe okay. Let's assume that Batu also is the same thing. Allegedly, it's the same thing, same mogul with concerning drip. As we
So why hasn't it failed yet?
Yes.
Okay, Emma, I'm going to get to that. So the drip, the taps have been closed, right? It was a scheme that ran on for what, 5 years, 6 years? Not even 5. I think 5 years.
5
I mean,
years.
Kintago, he says 2020. Yeah,
5
it grew.
years.
So-
5 years. It grew. Yeah, that's why I say it grew too quickly.
And you can't loot indefinitely. The taps can't be open indefinitely. We need an exit strategy out of this. And then this so-called collapse of a black excellent business is now that's the backstory to it. So what is the desired outcome? How is this supposed to play out? Lekau, to the public perception, has to be destroyed here. I get it. He doesn't have money to pay bills, doesn't have to pay kids and all of that. He's been liquidated by a creditor that he owes 20 million. That also doesn't make sense, but okay, 20 million for work worth of 20 million. Who owns that agency?
Good question.
Nah. Okay, now they've got the liquidation, it's the collapse. This is not to say Hore Lekau doesn't have money. Because if he's got anything, it's very simple to have every single month they're invoicing. He's got another company that he set up. This is the retirement fund, the offshore account. But it's another company, simply
Okay.
registered.
Okay.
Every month he's invoicing drip $1 million. And then Baba Wang, they've taken the money through other service providers, whatever the case may be. Nah. So who pushed one? So the collapse does not necessarily mean Lekau is broke, but I mean, looking at how, not paying your fees and your wife is coming out on public platforms saying that maybe it is telling what Hana Chele. In those years, whatever he got of that money that was dispensed, he got a fraction, a very small fraction. The scale of this, and the scale of this, we don't judge the scale of this looting extravaganza off of Yana Lekau. We look at all the things that were supported, its shops, in malls, the rentals, the salaries. I don't even think a lot of money went to hold stock.
And logistics as well.
Logistics, well, those are all, maybe if he's got other logistics company doing it, it's other people doing the front. Remember, this is I don't want to call it corruption, but these are the maneuverings in business to get money from 1.2. This is money laundering. Nah. So why hasn't Batu
Batukara. Isn't Batukara wa Lesedi FM? Yeah. Batu.
Yeah, the shoe.
Yeah.
Why haven't we seen the collapse? Because the taps are still open. Once the taps get closed,
But for that,
then you will see this business was never carried by the product, being the sneakers. But to Leona, you don't see anyway. I don't know how many people have walked past there. I only know one person in this entire precinct who's got a pair of bags, who I've seen today.
I get about Leona, it's
I've only seen one case actually,
elite.
not even bad. Elite how? What's the price point there bad? Lekau. Drip even had colognes, and the moment you see things like that, that money had to be spent. That money had to be spent, and maybe not even spent. Okay, just an interruption. That money has to be spent. Who? The manufacturing company that did it. Who's this manufacturing company that did your?
We don't know.
Because that could be part and parcel of the whole. You understand? I think where I was in the already. Yeah, but once the tap closes,
Leona, it's going to collapse.
Yeah, because what is the importance of this tap closing? The moment the business, it becomes evident, or the moment the business is put in a situation where it has to sustain itself, that's where the collapse is going to happen. That's when it becomes clear that none of these sneakers, nothing was ever supported by what they say the business is being supported by. So, I'll work out this sneaker, it could be salvaged, yes. But at the rate of sneakers, at the rate of sales at which it's at right now, you can't. You the shortcut. There's no shortcuts into making.
He needs to build it right.
Yeah,
the approach.
If it was the right business,
yes.
When I know the product that they're offering, I'm sure it's a good sneaker and all of that. But that's after all this money being funneled. Understand now? If here's another thing, had he put in the hours, the importance of building and doing things right is because had he built this brand, let's just say since 2013, and then got 2018, just told this opportunity to get more funding and whatever, he would have been much wiser as how to move around with this money and this injection in terms of building the business. He didn't, so it goes back to that
shortcuts.
Shortcuts.
There's too many red flags of shortcuts in this whole thing.
And now you've got this product that it's good, everybody are liking it, but it's no way. It's the sales that you're doing every month.
They don't make sense.
I'd be very surprised if he's doing 1,000 a month.
They don't actually make sense with respect to what you're selling. You know what I'm saying? So
but we have to do an analysis now that we've mentioned it, and then we also then just go into the homeboy story.
Yeah.
Leona, it's a fly by night story. So but we'll have to
give it a fair assessment the same way as we did with
Yeah.
this one as to how did he start.
There could be something that we missed that he's been sharing, but this is the same playbook. They both launched more or less. That's why I say maybe a year apart from each other. Because you're not at Ubuni, but wow, this thing is taking off. I can also do it. Batu and Drip are two completely different entities altogether. But selling the same product, probably with the same manufacturer, the same financiers. So with regards to the Drip, I'm of the complete opinion that this is one big Ponzi scheme.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, G. And sorry. And this is not to say anything about Lekau, to knock how he got money and whatever. No. We can't do that.
We just dissecting the whole thing and making sense of why it imploded. I mean, the signs were there from the word go.
When you look at the story of what's been presented, but whether or not he's rich, he's still rich, or he's completely broke.
We don't know.
Yeah.
And this is not to knock him down, whatever the case might be, but just to get to the truth of the matter.
Yeah, and to say that, look, if I was given an opportunity to get all this money and push, I would have probably taken the same deal.
And businesses do fail, even though they entered into a hands as well. They do fail at times.
It's just a false narrative, like excellence.
Yeah, they do fail. With everything have been done right, whatever the case might be, but they do fail. You see, so.
All right, so I think that's.
But the chance of them making it are higher than them failing if everything gets done right.
Sorry?
No, the chance of them making it are higher than failing.
If they did it right.
Yeah, they did it right.
Because this money would have just propelled him to where he wanted to be after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years of really grinding at the bottom. Because I don't know grinder, looking for solutions and whatever. You've got a blueprint towards which you're working. You've got a goal towards which you're working. And then this money is just a surplus that's going to get you there quicker. But Bonada went from 0 to 180. 100%.
Or the parts. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think on the comments and please subscribe. Yeah, man. I get subscribing. Please subscribe,
I think
share
more
this
so,
thing.
Yeah, I think more so for algorithm to be able to spread the algorithm to spread the video more. This is not about monetizing it.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.